SubemShow.
Welcome to the SubemShow, guys. This is our pilot episode, first ever. We will be discussing recent events of the MMA world this week, and my co-host, Abed.
Yes, Ronnie. So this week, it's been a very eventful one, I guess. Starting off with Covington and Masvidal.
Yeah.
With the incident that's been happening. It's hilarious, you know, like two grown men fighting outside on the streets of Miami, both claiming to be the kings of Miami.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we want to revisit the incident itself,
Yeah.
So initially, obviously they've got long feud. They've got a history of friendship. They've got a history of being, you know, roommates, housemates, to now
Best of friends.
sworn enemies. Yeah, competitors, rivals, and now sworn enemies. Not much introduction needed. Two of the more famous welterweights of the division. You saw the? I'm assuming. Did you see the clips?
Yeah, I saw the clips. I saw clips that have been recorded during the incident. So it didn't show the punches that landed on Covington, but it showed the aftermath where like the police were here and Covington was in a police car or something. I also saw that clip. That's on the internet right now. I'm sure if you go into YouTube, you'll probably find it where Masvidal comes out of the car and his hands are tied behind his back, you know, and he quickly runs to the other end.
Inside the cell,
Yeah. So I've seen those clips. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Taking it, in my opinion, and solely my opinion, I'm like, I understand why he hit him. But at the same time, I can understand why everyone is saying, dude, you had all that time in the world in the cage to beat the shit out of him, to do what you want to do, but you couldn't do it. Now, it's a bit petty to, you know, throw a sucker punch at him while he's in the restaurant with his friends and family. It just, you know, I know the reason behind it is because he said something about your kids. What did he say about your kids? That's one thing that annoys me, yeah? If I just mention your kids, so say, for example, me and you were fighting, and I said, yeah, your kids are not going to like it when I smash the shit out of you. Well, what have I said there that's really bad about the kids? I didn't say anything bad about your kids. I just said your kids are not going to like it when I'm going to beat the crap out of you. So if someone says something within those lines and just mentions like a third party, nothing bad about the third party, but just says like the third party, you're going to see this, or the third party, you're going to be upset, blah, 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 blah. That's not necessarily a bad thing. He's not saying anything bad. I don't know what he said about the kids, so I'm not gonna quickly make a judgment call. But in case he said something like what Mike Tyson had said to Lennox Lewis, remember the back in the day, he goes, I'm gonna eat your kids and stuff like that. Then yes, I understand. Yeah, do what you need to do, bro. So you see people like Khabib coming out and saying, you know, he shouldn't have said stuff about his kids or family, so you deserve to get smacked, and I think everyone in the welterweight division shouldn't fight him, and then he should get, you know, pay the repercussion for that. Blah blah blah. That's, in my opinion, that's going too much.
I'm quite. I saw that it came out today, and I'm quite.
Doubt it is. It's probably Ali.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, because Khabib's English is nowhere near that, half as good as that.
Yeah, but, you know, but people are going to say, "Oh, it's translated." I don't think it was translated.
No. Why I don't think Khabib is behind it, and this is because many times in past there's been so much, you know, all of this, like, as you could call it, EastEnders drama in the organization, in the MMA world, in UFC in particular, and Khabib's the type to not get involved in other people's domestics and drama and affair. He never ever comments on John Jones's business, you know, unless he's got a personal vendetta against you, i.e. Conor McGregor. If he had done something, maybe Khabib would come out and say something. But when it comes down to other fighters, he doesn't usually comment. He doesn't say much, you know. I think Khabib likes the spotlight on himself. You know, he doesn't give too much importance to other people unless it really, really, you know, something that really interests him. And this Colby Covington Masvidal beef's been going on for a hot minute. Khabib's never mentioned it before. I don't see him mention it now. You know, maybe he's put his own personal opinion out behind curtains with his own circle, with Islam and Ali and whoever his circle is. But I don't see him going out. He just doesn't strike me as the guy to go out and just comment on Masvidal and Colby's business. He hasn't all this time.
Exactly.
He hasn't even he hasn't even tweeted about their fight. You know, their actual fight that happened in the octagon. He was there, ringside, cage side, but he didn't comment, or he didn't say great fight, or he didn't say masterclass performance from Colby Compton. He didn't say nothing.
Exactly.
So I don't see him commenting on that. I believe it's Ali. I believe Ali is known for this. And I really believe this is Khabib. Please take your password back. Please change your password. Please just do it, bro. But anyway, back to the point. And I completely agree with you. What Colby said, from what I remember from everything that I've watched leading up to the press conference and all the other interviews that Colby had given, I think he called Masvidal a deadbeat dad. In other words, he was just saying Masvidal's not a fit father. I don't ever remember him insulting his children. Now, how it strikes the MMA community, the fans, the fighters, is that Masvidal's just acting salty. He's just acting bitter because he lost the fight. And that too against someone he really, really, really despises. He got embarrassed in front of the entire world, got dominated start to finish for 25 minutes in the grappling department and on the feet to a degree. And, you know, I just feel like he hasn't been able to digest it ever since the loss. And obviously, Colby's fueling it up even more on Instagram by tagging Masvidal in all these posts and whatnot, which is hilarious as a fight fan. Like, I find it very entertaining. I think it's hilarious. Being very neutral, and I like Masvidal, but I'm being very neutral. I think it's hilarious. And you know, you're a 38-year-old man. It doesn't suit a man who's almost touching his 40s. You know, going out there, acting like, you know, just a college kid or you know, a high school kid, like going out there and just attacking Colby. Like, you know, you're meant to be a professional athlete. And this is one thing I spoke to my friend about. Masvidal's got issues with Colby, and it has nothing to do with what Colby said to Masvidal leading up to the fight. The reason why he hates him is because of Paulino Hernandez, I believe that's his name, which is Masvidal's coach. Yeah, because Colby, obviously Masvidal had introduced Paulino to Colby as Colby wanted to improve his striking. And obviously we all know the story. Colby robbed Masvidal's coach, as in, when I say robbed him, as in basically he didn't pay him. When it came down to paying him, he didn't pay him, and Masvidal had to pay him out of his own pockets. Now, if Masvidal maintained that narrative that, okay, cool, whatever, I lost the fight to you, but you still haven't paid for your sins, which is what you did to my coach, then that will be to a degree justified, I believe, anyways. And I spoke about this to my friend like a few days ago. Like, if he went on with that narrative, then cool. Like, okay, Masvidal's trying to avenge his coach, but he's saying the wrong things, like he does, like he has been for the last 3 years. He's doing everything the wrong way, and now he's using his children's name as ammunition. And I just feel like Masvidal himself knows that Colby hasn't really said anything about his children. If anything, Masvidal said something about his ex-wife, posted a picture with her.
His mom as well.
Yeah. So
He's not a
say
good.
those things.
He's not a good
Say
son.
those things. But
Yeah.
yeah, so say those things. But even when he said whatever he said about Masvidal's mum, all he said was Masvidal doesn't even get along with his own mother. He doesn't speak to her, this and the other, you know. So mention that then.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He didn't. So in this particular scenario, I believe Masvidal went about it the wrong way. And if you are going to attack someone, validate it. You know, your reasonings just seem illogical. He's embarrassing himself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I 100% agree with what you've said there. I mean, there's nothing else you can say. I mean, you said it all, really.
Colby had it coming. I mean, remember Verdum a few years ago, producer Verdum. Remember when he, like, I think tried slapping Colby, or he threw something at him, and Colby pressed charges and whatnot. Do you remember?
I don't know what caused that, though.
I don't remember. Oh, maybe because of the racist comments towards Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil, yeah, that's it, yeah. And Verdum, like, you what? And then squared up onto me. And
he ran into him.
I mean, to be honest, like, why would Colby fight him? He knows he'll get his ass whooped by him. So if I was in that position, I'd probably call the police for my own safety.
Oh,
but then again, you're a fighter. You shouldn't be calling the police on anyone, like, man.
The way Verdum would have folded him up. But anyways, but going forward, so I mean, looking back at everything, who's in the right, who's in the wrong. If you look at the history, Colby's definitely in the wrong for everything that he's done to Masvidal. I mean, the guy took you into his house. He met you at the gym. It's not like you grew up with one another. It's not like you had any ties in the same network of friendship or any family ties or anything of that nature. Masvidal met him in the gym, and Masvidal was already at ATT, American Top Team.
Yeah.
Masvidal took him under his wing. He took him under his wing, taught him some striking. Obviously, Colby also taught him some wrestling. Colby was broke. He had nowhere to stay. Masvidal gave him shelter, gave him food, probably gave him his sofa to sleep on, whatever. So Masvidal, I guess, to a degree, played that elder brother figure in his life when Colby was at his lowest point. But years have passed now. Obviously, they were supposed to settle whatever differences they had in the cage. Unfortunately for Masvidal and his fans, Colby got the better of him. And clearly, obviously, that didn't settle well with Masvidal. He hasn't been able to digest the loss ever since. And now what he's doing is obviously he's using his own children as ammunition and making himself
seem like the bigger person.
He just looks bitter from the loss. And I mean, I think I guess what I would have done in his situation is just try to push for a rematch. Colby would give him the rematch. 100% he'd give him the rematch, because Masvidal, let's be real, let's not sugarcoat it. Masvidal even now is still the biggest star in the 170 division. Maybe his stock has been affected now, but leading up to the fight, if you look at Masvidal's fan following, it's just another easy payday for Colby. That's how he would look at us. So of course he'd want an easy payday. He would have given the rematch. Now, morally and ethically, obviously, Colby doesn't seem like he's inclined.
Okay.
But in this scenario, Masvidal just looks a bit off. Yeah. So I think
if we had to say who's in the right and who's in the wrong, what's your opinion?
In this particular scenario, I believe Masvidal's in the wrong.
Masvidal's in the wrong, yeah.
And solely because of the excuses he's using. If he used Paulino Hernandez as an excuse, that could have been justified by some fans, but he didn't. He's saying you spoke about my kids. Colby didn't really say anything negative about his kids. Long story short, Colby Masvidal's in the wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
And the guy was eating. He was having a peaceful day. He's there with some, you know, the Nelk boys having a meal. Masvidal, you know, run up to him and then pat, yeah, gave him the 2-piece and a soda. And
2-piece and a soda. But you know, if you were to compare this against when he gave the 2-piece and soda to Mr. Leon Edwards, Leon Edwards took it like a man. Yeah, he wanted to smash his face in, but hey.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you
pressed charges.
I'm glad you brought that up. That is justified, and I'll tell you why. Now, Masvidal just had a fight, and he's doing an interview with Megan O'Leary, I believe.
Yeah,
I think, and he's already had a fight. He's shattered, and Edwards has just walked past, rudely interrupted, and he's just trash talking and whatever not, right? So now he's drawn Masvidal out. As a man, you've drawn another man out, okay? And Masvidal felt disrespected at the time. Masvidal walked over to him. He didn't run up to him. He didn't sucker punch him, nothing of that nature. He walked up to him as Edwards initiated it. Masvidal walked up to him, and as he was walking up to him, he said, "Come say that to my face." And then he went up to his face, man to man, face to face, and he let the hands fly. That is justified.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that is justified.
Yeah, the way that you put it there, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, in the eyes of the law, okay, yes. If had Edwards pressed charges against Masvidal, perhaps Masvidal would have got arrested. Yes, it is illegal to, you know, go and assault someone. But we're not talking about what the law is right now. We're talking about morals and ethics here. Who's in the right, who's in the wrong. Okay. That was different. Masvidal didn't go randomly sucker punch him from some, you know, dark history that they share. It was nothing of that nature. They don't know each other. Edwards randomly, you know, was trash talking to Masvidal.
Yeah.
Whilst Masvidal was in the middle of an interview, and Masvidal addressed it like a man. He didn't sucker punch him or anything. In that particular scenario, I don't believe Masvidal was in the wrong. No.
Yeah. Okay.
This is completely different.
Next question would be: does Masvidal get caught, or is there any repercussion for him then?
So now, what's happened is Masvidal has signed a new deal with UFC.
Oh yeah, join the Kobe stuff.
Yeah, and that now makes him the third highest UFC fighter on the roster, sitting behind Mr. McGregor, Mr. Adesanya, and I think Masvidal is number 3, with Conor and Izzy 1 and 2. I think Masvidal is number 3.
Yeah, but Kamarus pound for pound number 1 though, isn't he?
No, but Kamaru doesn't have he doesn't have a new deal signed. He's on his old contract still.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, and Conor's not a champ either. Don't forget. But he's still the highest paid athlete on the roster. What do you call it? So Masvidal's number 3. So Masvidal, the UFC owe him fights, right?
Yeah.
They owe him fights. And with Dana and these guys, you know, they just care about the money. They will probably try their best to nip it under the bud. Okay. And if we're talking about morals and ethics, let's not forget what Conor did to Khabib with the bus incident, which was way more damaging. Like, he hurt several people in that incident. It wasn't just first, he didn't hurt Khabib, he hurt Joanna, okay, who wasn't even part of the incident. Joanna Chechek.
No, she wasn't in the bus.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's
Joanna was in the bus.
It was Fug Rose.
Sorry?
Fug Rose.
Was it Thug Rose?
Yeah. It was Fug Rose. Okay. It was Ray Ball.
Okay, but Joanna was in the that was another female fighter on the bus. Yeah. I believe glass went into Michael Chiesa's head or face or somewhere.
Well, Michael Chiesa had like a massive gash Ray Borg, he went inside his eyes. He couldn't fight at all.
Yeah,
And then Ray Borg got like about one fight later, he was out of the UFC.
Yeah, and UFC didn't even compensate for him. They didn't even compensate him for what
he did get
the loss.
Dana White did say in some guy's podcast, I think it was Logan Paul's podcast or someone's podcast, that he kind of had a lot of cases against him during that incident. I think though that it's not been highlighted, but I'm sure some of those fighters were like, "Fuck this."
That's fine. Cases and being cut from the UFC is two different things. Now, Colby can easily go press charges against Masvidal. That has nothing to do with the UFC. UFC, whether the owners of UFC, whether it's Dana White, whether it's who else, Lorenzo, and whoever else calls the shots, they obviously have to. Yeah, they have to make a decision amongst each other. Same way Fabricio Verdum didn't get cut from the UFC, but Colby did press charges against him.
Well, talking about arrest, Mr. Conor McGregor has been in the news once again. He has been arrested. I think it was today or yesterday. That for speeding. For speed. I mean, I don't know if he got arrested today or yesterday, but the video footage that I saw has been out today or yesterday, and he's been speeding, and the Irish police officers were behind him, and they pulled him over, and he got arrested for that.
Yeah.
Would you take what's your take on that?
My take is I mean, it just comes across like he's just jealous of Masvidal, you know.
Do you reckon he did that on purpose?
I mean, who knows? I mean,
it's just a coincidence.
He could have. The Irish police said, "Listen, I'm gonna go speed now. You lot obviously catch me. I'll pay off whatever the fine is, or I'll pay you lot whatever, and because I had the money for it, and make sure you guys report it to the tabloids. I don't know, who knows? Because there's a pattern with these two guys. With Conor and Mr. John Jones. These guys, it's like one week Conor gets arrested, and then Jones gets arrested the next.
Well, we'll get to that in a sec. My question is, now Mr. Masvidal and Mr. McGregor both been arrested within the same week or the same time period. The next thing is they need to fight. Who's going to win?
I completely agree with you. And before we get to that part, I believe that the kind of superstars Conor and Masvidal are at the moment as well, especially where they are in their career, I feel like they'll make more name outside of the octagon than they will inside. Right? That's what right now. That's what they're being highlighted for. They're not exactly being highlighted for doing fantastic things inside the octagon. And like they say, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Publicity is publicity. I think this is the perfect time now, with both men not doing any, like, they're both on losing streaks.
And both not going to wrestle. Conor ain't going to wrestle. Masvidal ain't going to wrestle or grapple.
Both have awful cardio. They both have awful cardio.
Yeah.
They both got fast twitch muscle fiber. Both got heavy. Conor's got a hell of a left hand. Masvidal's got a hell of a right hand.
Both got decent chins. I know Masvidal got knocked out, but like, hey, anyone's gonna.
No, but he got knocked out. But let's not forget, prior to that, he's had 49 fights. He's never been knocked out.
Yeah, exactly. So
he has fought.
I mean, Conor got knocked out. Conor got knocked out. I mean, he didn't get like proper bounced off the canvas, but
so that's why I would say decent chin. Decent chin.
We
wouldn't say like a Nate Diaz or a Tony Ferguson type of chin.
Yeah.
But nowhere near. But he's got okay chin, I guess. Right. I think this is the perfect time. Stylistically, this is perfect. And currently, they are two of the biggest stars in the roster.
Yeah.
Even if Adesanya gets paid more than Masvidal, I don't think Adesanya is a bigger star than Masvidal. I could be wrong, but in my
You
personal
might be
opinion,
right
I
there.
don't think.
Might be right there.
I think Masvidal's got more hype to him, in my opinion. And I believe
Mr.
after
Hamza.
the last,
Yeah.
he's on the come up, and he will be a bigger star than Masvidal, undoubtedly. Undoubtedly, that's for sure to happen. But I'm talking about at this moment of time,
Yeah.
in this current moment of time, I believe Masvidal's stock has dropped. I believe it has dropped. He's on a 3 loss streak. Okay. Conor's stardom, I think he's just, I don't know if his stardom has dropped, but I believe that fans just don't hold him as high regard, and he's not as relevant, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's not as relevant. That's my opinion. A lot of fans just don't care. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about hardcore fans. I'm not talking about the casual fans. Of course, the casual fans is what makes the money. I'm talking about the hardcore fans, people like you and I who watch it and follow it to a T.
Yeah.
You know, I think this will boost back Masvidal's his stock if him and Conor go into a fight. Now, I want to ask you that question. Who wins that fight? How? What round? How it goes? How does it go?
Okay, so from my humble opinion and my humble fight analysis, well, it depends what style or stance that Conor McGregor comes into the fight. Does he come into that boxing stance that he came in on the first fight he had with Dustin Poirier? You know,
second fight, you mean?
No,
second
the first,
fight, you mean?
Yeah, the second. When I say first, I mean
the rematch,
lightweight fight. It's the first fight in lightweight, not the featherweight one. But yeah, technically speaking, the second fight where he came in as a boxer and he was Mr. Nice Guy. He didn't have the karate stance that he normally has when he fights. If he comes in that stance with Masvidal and uses a lot of boxing and some leg kicks here and there, he might have a good chance of beating Masvidal. A very, very, very high chance.
Really?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
What, in the boxing stance or in the karate stance?
Boxing stance.
Really? You think he does better with Masvidal in the boxing stance, not the karate stance?
With shadow of a doubt.
What?
But then again, I might be wrong there because Masvidal's teammate is who? Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier will say, well, if he comes in the boxing stance, do what I did. Kick his freaking calves in. And he'll have a dead leg like
that. And Masvidal's a better calf kicker than Conor, from my opinion, anyways.
Okay, yeah, cool. So he kicks calf in. Then, so if you put that into play, he probably won't come in a boxing stance, but then again, he might. But if he comes in his karate stance, then he's just I don't think he's gonna box as much. He's gonna be doing the capoeira kicks and the taekwondo kicks here and there, and then just counter punching. So he's gonna wait for him to throw a jab, then go dish, dish. You know what I mean? Just watch for the spots. But he's all jacked up now, so he's got too much muscle on him. So obviously he'll fight in welterweight, but I don't think he's going to be like fast as he would be in lightweight. So the karate stance ain't going to work in welterweight, in my opinion. His karate stance will not work in welterweight. He's too jacked. He's too muscly now. So that's why I think he's going to come into normal boxing stance and he's just going to try and box him. Yeah, he'll probably take some leg kicks, but the guy will probably just close the distance because he'll be the shorter man by a few inches, try and close the distance, and he might even grapple with him, I reckon. Because in his mind, he'll be thinking, I've got better cardio than Masvidal. In Masvidal's mind, he'll say, I've got better cardio than him. Whereas we both know both of them have got as bad as cardio as each other. It makes no freaking difference.
They both got heavyweight cardio.
Exactly. They've both got heavyweight cardio. After like 2 minutes of fighting, they're like, anyway. So in my opinion, if he comes in a normal boxing stance, he might just...
He has the better chance.
He's got a better chance. That's my opinion. I don't think he's going to come in the karate stance. I just don't see it happening, especially in welterweight.
That's an interesting take you made there. And why I say it's interesting is because Wonderboy fought Masvidal on a karate stance, and I believe that was either one of Wonderboy's best performance or one of Masvidal's worst beatdown. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
And we know Masvidal got absolutely smoked in that fight. He got dropped like 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, though, in my opinion, Wonderboy in his prime is the greatest striker in the entire division. I believe he's even better than Adesanya. And Ron, I've told you this before as well. I've told you Wonderboy's striking in his prime is elite. Not even in his prime. If you saw what he did to Neil Magny,
Yeah.
I
remember.
Like last year or the year before.
I think it was a year before.
Yeah, he like 50-45 them. He won every single round, and it wasn't even close.
Fantastic human being, a fantastic striker, but right now he's past his. But
but he's 40 years old, isn't it? But But point is, I'm talking about styles here. Sorry.
Hasn't he like got like a partner and he's not got kids, so has he? I would have thought he'd be married. I mean, I don't know much. I don't know much about his private life. All I know is him and Chris Weidman are in-laws. Brother-in-laws, yeah.
Brother-in-laws, yeah.
Each of the siblings got married, so to each other. So I think it's Weidman's brother. No, Weidman's sister married Thompson's brother, something like that, or vice versa, something like that. Anyway, so the brother-in-laws, so they get along in that sense, and they're from the same area-ish.
Everything works out for them, but so that's why I say it's.
Yeah, so coming back to the topic at hand, I said how I think Conor would win, but I didn't say how Masvidal would win. Masvidal's
Tell me about Masvidal.
In my opinion, it's a straightforward, easy one. I think he just has to keep on circling from the left hand. So he'll be a southpaw, so he needs to keep on circling away from the left. So as he circles and just keep on jabbing and boxing him. Just do a Durant style boxing fight with Conor, and he doesn't have to close the gap or anything like that, close the distance or anything. I think he just does what he does, and he'll be okay. I don't have to say he has to do a kick. He doesn't have to do any takedowns. I think superior striker when it comes to boxing is Masvidal. Masvidal will beat him in a 9 out of 10 times boxing fight. I put my money on Masvidal. I think Masvidal is better boxing than him. Yeah, Conor's a good counter striker. That's all he is. He's just a good counter striker. I won't say he's a good boxer. I think he's just a good.
Masvidal's also a counter striker, though.
Yeah, but Masvidal knows everything about boxing. His boxing when he strikes, it's just pure boxing. When I see him fight, I don't see him fight as like an MMA striker. I see him when I see him strike, he strikes like a boxer. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but just he strikes like a boxer.
It's the mechanism behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does Conor have the power to put Masvidal to sleep?
In welterweight? No.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. I just wanted your take on it. I mean, he couldn't even put away Poirier, and he landed both fights in the second and third. He landed his heaviest shot on Poirier, and Poirier just.
Well, let me ask you a question: who has more power in welterweight, Darren Till or Conor McGregor? And remember, Darren Till.
Till, right? It has to be Till. No, Till. It has to be Till.
Yeah, it's Till, isn't it? Till punched him. Masvidal fall back and he got up. He wasn't dazed or anything. He was like, "Fuck me, whoa, that was good." But then he was laughing. Conor McGregor hits him. What? Is that it?
And question is, does Masvidal have the power to put away Conor? Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
Only thing is...
But then again,
yeah,
Till has a suspension, I reckon. In my opinion. I like Till, but I think he's got a bit of a suspension. Maybe because of the weight cut.
What do you mean he has a suspension?
Pardon?
What do you mean he has a suspension?
Oh, no, suspect. I suspect that he's got a weak chin. That's what.
Oh, right. You suspect he's got a weak chin, yeah. Having said that, weight cut played a vital role there.
Played the difference, yeah.
Yeah. Having said that, though, in Masvidal's last 2 fights, not his first fight with Kamarus, his second fight, and the last fight with Colby, I saw age creeping up on Masvidal. And how? Before you ask me, I'll tell you how. I've seen it myself. Is one is his hands look nowhere near as quick as it did in the first fight with Kamaru and his fight before that, which was with Nate Diaz. The speed looks like it's been hindered, for one, and two is his reaction time. So Masvidal's kind of like the guy who likes to slip, counter, head movement, all of that. But his reflexes look a little bit slower. If you watch that fight with Colby once again, he's getting touched on the feet by a guy like Colby, and that should not be happening to a caliber of a striker of Masvidal's level.
Masvidal's 37 years old. He's going to be 38 in November.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I feel like
Khabib said it best, man. Khabib said it best, and my jiu-jitsu teacher told me it best as well. He goes, "A year makes a difference, man. A year, a few months.
1 year makes a difference.
It makes a massive difference. When I go to BJJ, right, and I grapple against younger fighters who are, say, white belt, blue belt, whatever, they get the best of me sometimes, and I think to myself, like, I know more than them. I'm relaxed. I'm not spazzing out as some of them would. Yet they're so strong and they don't gas. And I said that to my teacher, my instructor, and he goes, "Well, compare your age, Ronnie, to theirs. You're way older than them, and you're not 100% fit, as you all can see. I'm a bit chubby.
They can. Their battery is just longer lasting than yours.
Yeah, but then okay, saying that was against a 20, 21, 22-year-old, right? And I'm 30 odd, and I fought against a guy who was same age as me, and he was 1 year younger than me, right? And he did better than me, and he was the same weight, same style, like, you know, chubby dad bod style, all that type, and he did well.
Yeah, but maybe he's been fitter than you consistently from young.
Maybe. But my instructor said a year makes a massive difference.
Yeah.
You know, but I said, yeah, maybe he's fitter than me. What, like you said, but you know what really got to me when a black belt who's 45 years old told me that he found it hard grappling with all these white belts, blue belts, these 20-year-olds who were jacking in the gym, you know, doing pull-ups, running 50 miles per hour, blah, blah, I don't know. He told me it's not because that they're just healthy and all that. It's because age is a massive factor. And I think everyone knows this in the MMA world. Like Mr. Tony Ferguson's going through it right now.
Yeah.
It's caught up to him. Age has caught up to Tony Ferguson.
Tony, Woodley,
exactly.
There's a couple of others that are not coming from top of my head right now, but age catches up with the best of the best. You know, there's a reason why Khabib retired early, because he didn't want to be that guy getting folded up by guys that are not even half as good as him, that would get worked by him any day in the gym. He didn't want to take that chance, you know?
Well, yeah, maybe because when he retired at his prime at 32, 33. That's
32, 33, yeah. But no, what I'm saying is he said, like, from like long time before that, before he even touched his prime, that I don't ever want to be that guy that's fighting until of like late 30s, 40. Like Kamaru, listen, Kamaru has had so many injuries in the last couple of years. You know, if I were him, I'd retire, man. For me, he's the welterweight GOAT. You might disagree. You might say it's GSP. Because I'm not counting GSP's title defenses solely based on the fact that GSP got the title shot in 2 fights into the UFC. Kamaru worked his way up, no?
Yeah, you could say
Kamaru, GSP's 3rd fight was a title shot. Khabib's
11th or 12th fight was the title shot.
Yeah, something like that. You know, Leon Edwards is in the same position, but he did have a title shot fight. No, he didn't as well.
COVID basically.
Tony Ferguson.
COVID fucked Leon Edwards up, really. COVID did.
Yeah. But Tony Ferguson, like in his prime, I mean, technically he's not the best in terms of technical ability, but his toughness got him through. And by the time he got to a title shot, it was against a beast like Justin Gaethje, and he was already, 36, 37 years old, probably suffering from CTE, you know, and he fought a younger, hungrier lion.
Yeah.
you know, that absolutely pieced him up, dominated him from start to finish. So age catches up with us all, you know. Kamaru, as good as he is, you know, I really, I don't know, if a younger, fresher line comes across his
Kamarus had the
path,
surgery on his hand. Do you see the pictures?
surgery on his hand. What happened before that? It was his knees giving out on him.
Yeah.
You know, his nose got broke. Justin broke his nose in camp. There's always something wrong with this guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's another example. And then, yeah, you got a younger, fresh line like Khamzat Chimaev waiting in the stands.
Mr. Khamzat, do you want to talk about Mr. Khamzat Chimaev then?
Yeah, why not?
So, as you know, you've seen all that blockcast stuff or from Khamzat's own channel that he's been training with Mr. Till from my ends of the woods near Liverpool. they're doing really well. They're like, everyone's saying it was always Khabib and DC again, you know, the bromance, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I kind of find it very... Not them, but I find it cringy when people, start typing in, "Oh, it's not what we wanted, but it's not what we asked for, but it's what we wanted." Blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, are you gay or something? Why are you saying shit like that? Yeah, just enjoy the fact that they're training with each other. You don't have to say, "Oh, it's fantastic. I'm so happy." I'm like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you?
I think it's probably the younger.
They're making it gay, man. They're making gay.
I think it's the younger audience doing that. Having said that, though, I watched the interview yesterday with Darren Till and Errol Hawani, and Till put Chimaev on screen as well. Hilarious, amazing interview. Go watch it after. It was really good.
Yeah, you know, when I said the word gay, guys, I don't mean it in that sense. I just mean it in like how I literally saw words where they were saying, "Oh, they love us" and all that type of shit. I'm like, what the hell? Like, you don't have to say that. Anyway,
you're gonna have to cut these parts out. The LGBT community will be on our arse. But yeah. Anyways,
whatever.
But yeah, let's get back to it. I think this is really good for not just both of their careers, but it's marketing strategies as well. Something you and I, the average audience won't see. This is building up both of their profiles. And Till himself has said that ever since him and Khamzat obviously got together, the NFT card, the block asset chain group, more people are tuning into it. They're getting more exposure to it. It's building intrigue, like the curiosity in people. Everything is just going well for them.
Yeah.
So Carl can't say anything wrong about it. And I'm just really, I've seen Till fight so many times. I'm just really excited on Chimaev's return.
Wait.
Yeah, I can't wait for that fight. And it's not long from now, It's in like
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2-3 weeks. Oh my days, time has flown. April the 9th or something like that.
Yeah. So it's definitely. Let me just double check now. 2 weeks. Yeah, well, 2 weeks and a few days. 2 weeks and a few days.
I guess. During Ramadan as well.
Yeah. For those who are fasting during Ramadan, so it's gonna be enjoyable because you're gonna be awake. Anyway.
Yeah.
So you're gonna watch.
Do you think Khamzat will be fasting?
Oh, you know what? I never even thought of that. Oh my god, that just crossed my mind. That has crossed my mind.
Yeah, he probably who knows? Anyways, maybe he'll make up for it at a later point. I don't know.
Maybe, some people like, I know there's a fighter he used to fight for, or he still trains at, Firas Zihabis one. What's that called? TriStar or something.
TriStar.
Yeah, he was saying that if because it's a job, and if it's a job and your job in time, and you've already signed something with your company that you're going to be fighting this time, blah blah blah, then you have a genuine excuse. That's what you were saying from a scholar or something. So if he goes that type of meaning, then Khamzat won't fast, and he'll be training. But I know he's training right now, So maybe I don't know what day does fasting actually happen. The first fast day
It's on the 2nd or 3rd of April. It's falling on.
So put it this way: not only does he need to lose a bit of weight, so it could be that he would probably fast, train. You know what I mean?
The guy's a beast, man. The guy's a beast. He's so good at what he does and the way he trains. I mean, he probably could go 2-3 days.
It's me motivation, man. Every single time I go to my jiu-jitsu class or when I'm not outside in my jiu-jitsu class, I'm in the gym. Like, this guy is like, no wonder Darren goes like, oh man, this guy's motivating me more. I just want to just train harder.
Yeah. Till said he's never met anyone like that in his life. And Till's trained with loads of people. He's even trained with Tyson Fury, you know. He's never met anyone like Chimaev though. And a very, very special fighter as well, who I really, really like, Mr. Petr Yan.
Petr Yan.
Yeah, he said that Khamzat Chimaev trains like a beast. If that's coming from Yan, that's verified.
Because they were both of them were in Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand, right? I've seen those clips, and they had a massive photo with each other with the Bellator champion as well as some other guys, and Petr Yan was there, and Mr. Chimaev was there, and they had a picture. And I saw some of the videos. I don't know if he's grappling or fought or trained with Petr, but they were there, and Petr must have saw him like, shit, this guy's a monster. And everyone,
I mean, if this is coming from Jan's mouth, and Jan's a beast himself, then it really holds a lot of weight. If Petr Yan said it, the best in the world, I'm taking his word for it, 100%.
Talk about Petr Yan. He's going to be fighting Mr. What's his name? Sterling, yeah. So, as you might already know, Petr was the only one who got visa to come to, I don't know where they're fighting. America? Is it America? Yeah, to America.
Vegas,
none of his team members were allowed to come. So one of the team members of Petr said, can Khabib be in his corner and train him? But I think Khabib's in Dubai or somewhere right now. So I don't know what's going on. If this visa thing is going to be sorted by then, or he's going to go to and he's got loads of Russian friends in the UK anyway, USA anyway. So he'd probably say, guys, my teammates are not here, but could you guys, be in my corner? I'm sure he can AT&T or Stanford.
Any one of them. Listen, any one of them. Whether it's Khabib, whether it's Makhachev, whether it's Khamzat Chimaev, even if it's Kamaru, Kamaru is another good option. American, he's on the soil.
Yeah. But I mean, I think because he can't barely speak English though, isn't he? So he probably
no, you're right. Yeah, he needs one of these Russians.
I think one of the Russian guys he's in Stanford, or if he's at ATT, if he's at AKA, if he's at Jackson Wing, whatever, one of them is going to help him out. So
but Yan is so good, man. He could go inside that fight just with one cutsman and win the fight.
Listen, I'm not hating on Sterling. I think Sterling's a nice guy and everything, but he's gonna get fucking smashed.
Yeah, and having said that, I think that as much of a drama queen he is, and how much he milked that injury, and however much of an Oscar actor, whatever you want to call him, if you look at his skill set as a fighter, let's not forget what he's done in that division. Leading up to that point.
Yeah.
Let's not I think he would literally fold Sean O'Malley like a table chair.
Yeah.
I think he would actually absolutely dominate O'Malley from start to finish. That's my opinion.
I agree with you.
To get Yan would
say that again?
I don't think Sean O'Malley would even get past Sterling.
Yeah.
Good fighter, that guy.
His
cardio is not great. That's where his weakness is, because he was having Yan in round 1.
Yeah. I mean, he's only lost 3 times, hasn't he? He lost against Brian Caraway, Misha's old boyfriend, Rafael Sanko, and the guy who lost the other day, Marlon Morales. Is Marlon Morales retired now? Because I think he got his glove off and left it on the canvas because he got knocked out or
I
something.
saw funny memes that him and Cody, him and Cody should fight. The loser retires, and the winner should also retire.
Yeah.
But I know someone that's targeting Cody Garbrandt, someone in the 125 division. I'll tell you that off camera. We can speak about that.
Yeah. I know you got some hidden news. Hey, we're not even journalists. We should be journalists, man. I think even Ariel Helwani will be like, "What?" Yeah.
I know someone else targeting him.
That's why, guys.
I think you're
watching the SubemShow because you're gonna find some news that we only know and no one else knows.
Yeah, and I think you know who I'm talking about as well.
I might have an idea.
Yeah,
you'll have to confirm. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. But now let's touch up on the heavyweight division right now. Obviously, Mr. Aspinal had a wonderful performance.
Yeah.
Really good guy, man. Really nice guy. I really like him. I like watching him fight. I like the way he talks.
Yeah, humble guy.
Huh?
He's very humble.
Yeah, humble guy. And he's actually a good representative of Liverpool, you know?
I mean, he's not from Liverpool. He's more from Manchester.
Sorry, Manchester. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
He trains in Liverpool.
My bad.
He trains in Liverpool. He travels all the way from Manchester to train.
But he's a Mancunian, and he's a good representative of the Mancunians.
Yeah.
I think he will get. He's got a fight coming up, potentially with Tuivasa. There's good fights where he could even fight Blade, which would be a very tough fight.
I think he'll prefer Tuivasa. Tuivasa isn't really a grappler; he's more of a striker. So for him, it's more of an advantage. Tuivasa.
I think if Tuivasa can't land on him, then it's curtains.
Oh yeah,
that's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap, defo. Because he'll take him down. And he'll just
and Aspinal's grappling. I mean, I haven't seen him grapple against the best of the best as of yet. But the grappling he displayed on Volkov, if he can do that on an experienced fighter like Volkov, he's definitely doing that to Tuivasa.
Yeah. But speaking about our boy Tom Aspinall, though he's British and he's one of us, let's be brutally honest. If he were to fight the top three guys, Ngannou, Ciryl Gane, and now Mr. John Jones, sorry, is in heavyweight. How do you see that? How do you see that?
Yeah, I don't think he's ready for that smoke yet. I'll be brutally honest. Francis will switch his lights off instantly, and Francis is starting to learn wrestling defense and offense, and that's a nightmare for anyone in the world. No matter how good, for a man that hits that hard, if he can stuff your takedowns and take you down as well.
Yeah,
I mean, you saw that Ciryl fight, even though that was a very close fight.
Ciryl, man. Join that fight.
But Ciryl will bounce back. He's so good.
He'll bounce back. He's a good striker. He's a fantastic striker. I think he's the best striker in the whole entire heavyweight division, to be honest.
I think he's one of the best strikers overall, pound for pound. Even if he's not number one, you have to put him up there in the top 10.
But I mean, Tom fighting those three, I don't know how he'll do well against John Jones in heavyweight because John Jones not fought.
I mean, you see John Jones. If you watch his last two fights, I definitely believe he lost the last fight with Dominic Reyes.
I think he lost against. He lost the first fight against what's his name, Khamzat Gustafsson. Yeah, he lost.
Yeah, but obviously, I believe that too. But obviously, he rectified that by winning it in the rematch or whatever. Yeah. So that's why they don't talk about it. But people till this day talk about his fight with Thiago Santos and his fight with Dominic Reyes. Now, the Thiago Santos fight, it was a close fight. People hold on to it based on the fact that Santos's knee blew out midway fight. And he was still giving problems to Jones with a snapped knee.
Yeah, exactly.
And Reyes, let's be real, Reyes outboxed him from round 1 to round 3. I believe even in round 3 was a bit closer, but I felt like Reyes had moments in round 4 which people don't talk about.
Yeah.
Round 5, definitely Jones took that. Definitely. He took him down. He held him down. He got ground control. He had octagon control. Round 5 definitely went to John Jones. But it's just fair. It's unfair that we diminish whatever Reyes accomplished from the earlier rounds.
Yeah.
And dominantly as well. Like round 1 to 3 was easy.
Yeah. Anyway, but coming back to Tom Aspinall, out of the 3, I reckon the only guy I honestly believe that he might win against is Ciryl Gane. You'll be like, what? What do you mean? Well, Ciryl Gane, based on the fight he had with Ngannou, can't wrestle, or his wrestling defense was shit. So what Tom has to do is don't strike with that guy, no matter what. He's trying to take him down, sub him.
Don't let the
Just Khabib him, basically. Just Khabib him. So if he Khabibs him, he'll win against Ciryl Gane. But Ngannou's too fast, and he's got power in both hands. For someone like Ciryl Gane, it's okay because Ciryl Gane's got a diamond chin, and he can be as fast as you want. Ciryl Gane will be able to.
Cyryl's faster than Ngannou. Francis didn't land a single shot.
You know what? Actually, yeah.
Don't forget.
You know what? I might take that back now. I might take that back because if Ciryl Gane's faster than Ngannou, Ciryl Gane just needs to do what Ngannou does, just come out blazing, and he'll land one on Tom Aspinall, and Tom will probably get knocked out. He'll
get folded, I think he'll fold if that one lands. The thing is, with Ciryl, it's not about diamond chin. It's the fact that you can't catch him. And Francis did not catch him with a single shot. That entire 5 rounds, Francis did not catch him with a clean shot. And remember, what is Ciryl known for? He's known for being a heavyweight that moves like a 185er, like a middleweight.
Yeah.
Right? Look how quick he moves. His speed level is ridiculous. Like, his fast twitch muscle fiber is almost out of this world. I've never seen a heavyweight. It's not just about his hand speed. I'm talking about his footwork and his head movement, how quick he moves. He's in one position. Next thing you know, he's behind your back. It's like fighting 2 guys at one time. He's a nightmare striker to fight with.
Yeah.
So Francis took him down. Francis said himself in the post-interview, I wasn't as confident on the stand-up with Ciryl. Obviously, A, he's really fast, and B is obviously his knee, which I believe as well, that his knee was genuinely, hindered.
So, as we're still on the topic of heavyweights, Ngannou, as you know, is going to have a operation or something on his knees, or whatever. So he's out for maybe a year. So Mr. Dana White has said that there's going to be an interim belt to fight for. So I reckon probably Mr. Double J or John Jones or JBJ is going to be fighting for the interim belt, or maybe it's
I don't believe in John's hype anymore. Like, he's fighting more on Twitter than he is in the octagon. Okay, go into a training camp, show us something. You don't necessarily have to go into a fight. Call out someone, like say something. But no, he hasn't even showed any interest in any potential future victim, as you'd like to put.
I think he should keep it low because he got arrested, didn't he? He's another one who got arrested.
It's even before the arrests, before the last month incident, before the one with his ex, even before that, he wasn't really. As soon as Francis knocked out Stipe, what did he tweet out? Straight away he tweeted out, "Show me the money." Before that, he was saying, "I'm going to fight the winner of the 2." But when he saw what Ngannou was capable of,
show me the money.
Show me the money. What did Dana say? Usually when guys say that, is basically they're avoiding the fight.
Yeah, I 100% believe that. They're avoiding the fight. You don't say shit like that's a coward move. Show me the money. Like, what? Are you saying that you're scared to fight him now, are you, bro? That's basically it.
It comes across like that. It definitely comes across like that because, and the money he's asking for, and this is not the PPV and the gate included, just the show up money he's asking for. I don't think even Conor asks for that kind of money. He asks
10 mil or something.
I think it went to a point he said 15 or 20 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, Conor does earn that kind of money, but it's not the way we think. It's not the way we think he does. Yeah. It's not the way we think he does. It's with, the endorsements, the interviews with the media, the pay-per-view, the gate money, everything that goes into it adds up. And yes, Conor does get stupid numbers. Even Khabib doesn't earn the kind of money Conor does, and no one ever will. Maybe Chimaev in the future, who knows? But at this moment of time, when it comes down to the money game, Conor is the Mayweather of UFC.
You know what though? Khabib doesn't need the money. From my sources,
No, but a lot of fighters don't need the money. Masvidal doesn't even need the money going forward. They're settled. Do you know what I mean?
You know, from my Dagestani sources, Khabib has already got 100 to 200 mil in his bank.
Yeah, potentially. But I'm saying that you think John Jones needs the money. I don't think John Jones needs the money. He's a millionaire.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need the money, but I mean, as you know from history, anyone who's rich they want more. People who are rich always want more.
That's fine. That's fine. But the kind of money he is demanding is absurd. It's not reasonable, you know? And why do we all forget? Let's just say John Jones is the GOAT, for argument's sake. And he potentially can be, yeah? Especially if he goes out and wins the second belt at heavyweight. He will definitely go down as the greatest of all time. But have you seen his pay-per-view record over the years? He's not a big draw.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah,
John Jones is not a big draw. What was his high? What did he do against Dominic Reyes? What? It was ridiculous. It was like 500K pay-per-view buys or less than that.
Yeah.
Masvidal gets more than that. Masvidal was done 1.3 against Usman in the first fight. 800K in the second. Yeah. John Jones has never touched those numbers. He only once got 1 million or 800K, and that too because the opposition was DC, and there was 2 other massive fights on that card.
Yeah,
and DC in his prime was also a big star. He's a double weight champ. Do you know what I mean? But I'm telling you, go look at the facts. Go look at you can cross references. You can go fact check this. John Jones is not a big draw, and a lot of the fans are going to be watching this thinking, you know, what's this guy talking about? Go check it yourself. He doesn't make money. He doesn't pull in the numbers. So you can't ask for those kind of numbers if you're not bringing those kind of numbers to the table.
Yeah,
they gave Masvidal is getting paid more than John Jones currently with his new contract. But why? Because Masvidal actually brings in that kind of audience.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz as well. Nate Diaz gets paid what he does because he brings in the audience. He might be an average fighter, maybe even a below average fighter, but he brings in the numbers. And who is UFC? At the end of the day, they're a business.
Yeah.
And what affects a business the most? The revenue, the money. Who brings in those kind of money? The likes of Conor, the likes of Khabib, the likes of Masvidal, the likes of Diaz. These are probably the biggest 4 draws in the entire roster, and John Jones is nowhere near it. Cross-factor yourself.
Maybe
check it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take your word for.
In terms of name, he might be bigger than Masvidal, but as a pay-per-view draw, he doesn't make that kind of money.
Could be. Very. Anyway, let's come to an end. Last talk, we'll talk about our beloved Mr. Cain Velasquez. As you already know, he is another person who has been arrested, but for we all think for the wrong reason, though he was done for the right reason. He went after an individual in a car with a woman and an elderly man driving, shooting at them. And the reason behind it is because the person that he was trying to shoot at was an individual who had molested his family member. So who is this family member? I don't know. It could be his kid or just a niece, nephew, whatever. Whatever it is, it's a child.
There's different rumors. Some people have said it was his own child. Yeah. Some people said it was his either nephew or niece.
Something like that, yeah. But whatever it is, it was a child, right? So
it was a child. It was a child.
Some pedo, whatever you want to call it, had molested this child, not tried to, had molested the child.
Successfully did it.
Has molested the child.
And
I would do the same. I would do the same. I watched a video on Firas Zihabis yesterday or the day before where he was asked a question by Dilly Hussein from Five Pillars, and he said, "You know what? I would have done worse. I'll be in jail right now. I would have done worse if it was my kid."
Imagine, look who that's coming from. The most humble, one of the nicest faces of MMA. Like, literally, him and GSP complement each other just because of their personality.
Firas Zihabis super humble, proper down to earth, and he said this. He goes, "I would have done the worst." Firas Zihabis also said that there was a bit where he was in swimming baths with his family. His whole family went, his brothers, cousins, everything, and his wife and kids went. And he said to his wife and his kids, "Oh, there's a ladies' changing room over there. Just go and get changed, and we'll meet you in the pool." So he's like, "Where the hell is she? Where the hell?" I literally saw this yesterday on the Thingy's podcast, Dilly Hussein's one. And he goes, "Where the hell is she, man?" And so he went, "Yo, where are you, man? Why are you not changed?" And she comes out and she's near the reception area. And he's like, "What are you doing there?" So he goes over there, "What's wrong? What are you doing there?" And she don't want to tell him. She knows what her husband's like. She don't want to tell him. And he goes, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And then he overhears the reception saying there's a guy in the pool, in the changing room. And he's like, "What? Changing room? You guys said there's no one in there." And then he finds out that it wasn't that he was accidentally in there and then people came in, it was in the toilet or getting changed. He's like, "Oh shit, what do I do?" He was purposely in there watching and peeking at her as they were trying to get the child or the wife get changed and all that stuff. That's where he went, "Oh wow." So he like he comes out and then he's like avoiding listening to reception. And for us to have, he's telling him, "Yo, come here, man, come to reception. They want to have a word with you." He wouldn't, he would blank him. So he went, grabbed him, put him on the floor. Didn't hit him or anything. He wanted to, but he just put him, just held him down until the police came. And then there's bystanders walk up, "Oh man, you're going to injure that guy. Get off him. Get off him. You're going to injure him." And he's like, "Who the hell are you? You don't know what the freaking just happened right now. Go away from here before I do something to you." You know what I mean? And he was
also saying, for us he didn't do much.
He wanted to kill the guy. He as soon as he found out this peeping perv was peeping on his wife and his kid, he wanted to murder him, but somehow he just kept the cool. His family members, they're going, "Calm down, bro, calm down, calm down, calm down." But the police came and took him away.
He should have got him in the armbar at least.
All he saw was red. He's like, "I just want to kill the guy. I just wanted to kill the guy, but my wife was crying and everything, so he didn't do anything." You know what I mean? He just ruined the whole day.
He should have got him in an armbar at least. What do you say?
The thing is, yeah, I mean, he would have choked the guy out, couldn't he?
No, but choking is easy. You're putting someone to sleep. It's comfortable.
Broken his arm, broken his leg. I know he could have, but
heel hook.
He had his family there.
Body twister.
Exactly. Anyway, so what I'm trying to get at is that pedophiles, man, like you get what Kane did it for, but the law system in America is bit.
Yeah, the ethics and morals of these judges really need to be highlighted because you guys are supposed to be law enforcement, right? You even have the right to put a police on the stand. A police, like you can put the police on the stand and prosecute an on duty or off duty officer, and that's the kind of power that's been given to you. And guess what's happened? The molester of Cain Velasquez's relative got set free. Has been set free.
Yep.
Like, you know, I mean,
how's that work? It's effed up, man. It's effed up.
It's so crazy. And this, you see, this raping and molesting thing, I don't understand, because if me, let's just say myself as a man, if I was to even physically assault a woman in UK, I don't know too much about US, in UK, physically assault a woman. When I say assault, I'm talking about like slap or punch or kick. In this country, they take this very seriously. Like, I'd be behind bars.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not talking about any form of sexual acts. I'm talking about just violence, right? If I was to slap, punch, or kick a woman in this country, I'd be behind the bars. It's very unlikely I'll get away with it.
Yeah.
But if I was to go and molest, if a man was to go and molest
child,
a female or even a young boy, for some reason they get off lightly with it, but then violence is taken seriously, but sexual violence is not.
It's like they indirectly say,
it's like they're saying it's cool. Like, do what you need.
All right with it, you know why? Because we do it ourselves. But you know, it's like that. You get that vibe. Honestly, it's like, you know, as you know, in the UK, they've had that BBC scandals with Jimmy Savile. They've had like politicians in the Tory party and so on that would ask for young boys or exotic Indian boys and all that. So these Asian boys in the 70s, 80s would go missing, and then they would find a dead body like many years later or something like that. It's just like,
it's disgusting, honestly.
The country's full of pedos, man. It's weird how they blame the pedophilia crap on certain Asian graphics, saying, "Oh, you guys are doing." I mean, it's not really pedophilia. It's more like they're all grown ass girls past the age of 16, 17. It's not really pedophilia, but it's like they are underage in the sense that they are under care, and what's happened to them is wrong, 100% wrong. I 100% agree with that. But when you're talking about like pre-pubescent children, that's just wrong, man. That's wrong. But they're not quick to point the finger then. But if someone who might look different to the native person of the UK country, you know, it's like, oh, that person does it. The whole group of them do it. You know what I mean? It's like, what, you painting everyone with the same brush? What the hell?
Yeah, it's just unfair. It's unfair, right? It's unfair.
Yeah, but I mean, look at this Ukrainian stuff that's going on. You know, I went to Tesco today to put fuel in my car, and there's like, you know, donate for Ukraine. And then I was driving to Nando's with the wife, and there's like, I go past this accountancy firm, and they've like a Ukrainian flag, and I'm like, Syria, Iraq, Palestine, Yemen, you know, some of the African countries, some of the countries bombed, blah blah blah.
Afghanistan.
Yeah, Afghanistan. The Rohingyas, the Uyghurs. Like, oh wait, hang on a minute, they're not white. They're not, I'm not the one who's saying that. The journalists are saying, oh, they're not. They're blue-eyed, blonde hair. They have a Netflix account. Man, double standards, man. You definitely know where you definitely know where they stand. You definitely know where they stand. And it's disgusting at this day and age that you would have double standards. You know what I mean? But anyway, you know, my friends and family in my town are nice people, and they can tell the difference between the double standards, and they say that it's wrong. But don't expect me to be, you know, don't expect me to be lenient and very, need to come and help them when you weren't doing the same for the others.
Yeah.
Anyway, coming to an end.
Anyways,
it was a good discussion, this, and we will do another video. I know there's a UFC fight card coming up this weekend. UFC, what's it called again? This one, it's UFC Fight Night, Blades versus Dukas, however you pronounce this, Chris Dukas. You're going to be watching it?
Yeah, I'll be watching that fight. It's an intriguing fight. It's exciting. The heavyweight division, it's not the best, but it's getting better.
Yeah.
It's definitely better than 205 right now.
Yeah,
definitely better than light heavyweight division.
Yeah.
And then let's see what happens.
There's not many famous people that I would love to watch, you know, who I know of that I would want to watch. I mean, there are people that I don't know, people that I'm like, can't be asked. Like Neil Magny and Max Griffin are fighting. Not really bothered. I know some fights have been cancelled. Like Jan was supposed to be fighting this against Rakic. That's not happening. Ilya Latifi's fighting against Ulnik. Probably not asked. I'm watching that either. I can probably watch that the day after on YouTube. Matt Brown's fighting against some guy. I don't know who he is. Not interested. The co-main event is some lady, Joanne Wood. I think it's that Scottish lady. I'm not sure if she's Scottish.
Oh yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Some other lady. And then you got the main fight, Curtis Blades versus Dukas. Volkov, or however you pronounce his name.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm awake, I'll watch it. I guess if I'm
If I'm
already
awake and I can't be
yeah,
asked to do anything, I'm not falling asleep yet,
yeah,
I'll probably watch
yeah.
it because I love fighting. But other than that, I would watch it the next day. I'm not going to stay awake for it. I will watch it, but I won't stay awake for it. If you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyways, yeah, just tune into our next episode. And that's it for today.
Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. If you want to, listen to more of our discussions or podcasts, if you want to call it, please subscribe and press the bell icon and leave your comments below. Be constructive. We'll take it as constructive criticism if it was good, or if there's anything that you think we could do to
Yeah, and drop comments on the topics you want for the next segment. Anything you want us to touch up on, let us know.
We'll do. We do have our little links here and there for certain fighters, not every fighter, but certain fighters which have links to other fighters that we get that information off. But we will add them to our new videos in the future. And yeah, take care and sub them.